Hello there, and welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Debbie Georgiani, and happy Monday to you. I'm expecting the Take Two family to weigh in on this question that I'm about to ask because I think you're going to have something to say about it, and you don't have to be Catholic to call in. Do you see beauty in the fall season? Yes, fall is upon us. Do you see beauty in it? Well, I'd love to hear your takes on this, your remarks, your kind of your observation of the fall season. I happen to be born in the fall season. I'm born in the first part of November. And so I've always loved the fall. And I grew up in the great state of New Jersey. And when the leaves would change, it just was so beautiful. And you'd start dragging out your sweaters and the beautiful sweater weather. I loved that. And now I live in Arizona, and it's sunshine 350 plus days a year. And it always seems like it's hot. And it's very rare occasions that you get to bring out a coat or anything of that nature. But I still love the fall season, even though we don't have many trees out here in Arizona that turn those beautiful, majestic colors. You know, you just feel like God was the greatest artist when he was developing creation, right? When he was breathing creation. Unbelievable when you think about just the beauty in just the trees alone. And then you just look at everything else in nature, the sunrise and sunsets, and it's just incredible. But I'm asking you today, the Take Two family, very important that we think about this because we can take a lot of this for granted. And, you know, oftentimes it happens that way because we just are moving with life so quickly. But I'd love for you to answer the question. I understand we've had a lot of social media comments, especially on the Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. And so Charles Beery, our producer, will put those up on the document. But we have Matt Gabinski on the phones. He's waiting to answer your call. And I'm asking the question, do you see beauty in the fall season? Now, maybe you have seasonal allergies. Maybe you get seasonal depression. And so you don't really see the beauty because you're struggling with a lot. Let's talk about it. Remember, on Take Two, we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly and everything in between. That's just how we roll here. So we want to cover it from all angles. And you don't have to be Catholic to call in. Here's the number. Ready? Start dialing. 833-288-EWTN. Do you see beauty in the fall season? Maybe you're born in the fall, November, October, early December, before winter, and you love that. Maybe you love starting the new school year in the fall. In the old days when we started after Labor Day. Now it's like year-round school and stuff like that. But you know what I'm talking about. So what I'd really love to hear from is those that have never called before to Take Two, because you're first-time callers, you just are so special to us because you are stepping up and making a difference with your lived experience. So if you're brand new to Take Two, if you've listened for a couple months, if you kind of tune in and out, well, we'd love for you to call in. 833-288-3986 is the number to call. Do you see beauty in the fall season? That's the question I'm asking today. And I'd love to ask the show team as well. So Matt, weigh in on this. Charles, weigh in on this. And same with Michael. Do you see beauty in the fall season? Everybody that's listening right now, everybody that's part of Take Two should really maybe just stop for a minute and think about it. I do. I love when it starts to get just a little bit cooler in the mornings. Oh, when I used to run, I don't have a chance with my eyes being the way they are right now, compromised. I wouldn't take a chance on running. Besides, we have these coyotes all over the place. I don't know what's going on, but the coyotes are coming down off the mountains. I guess they're thirsty or hungry. But anyway, I used to run early in the morning. I used to love getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and go out, and it was that cool breeze, and it just was incredible. So maybe that's you, and that's why you really do enjoy the fall season. 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. Okay, don't forget to like us on Jerry and Debbie Facebook page, and you can post over there as well. So please do that. And one other thing I want to tell you about. We have a virtual prayer wall on take2show.com. Very important, because I got a lot of messages over the weekend of some really serious prayer intentions came in with surgeries and things that our Take Two family is about to have coming up. And they're worried about it. They want prayers. So go to the virtual prayer wall at take2show.com. You can always email us, take2@EWTN.com. It is the number 2 or the letter 2. Okay. Okay. So, Charles just says he likes the fall season. That's good, Charles. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I think it's quite beautiful, especially when you live in areas of the country where the leaves are changing. It is just so gorgeous. When you're flying over, when you're when you're flying in an airplane and it starts to lower the altitude of it, and you can see some of the changes in going across the United States. Is so gorgeous. I know in Canada, it's so beautiful. I mean, it is really a wonderful time to celebrate God's creation, to appreciate God's creation, to marvel at God's creation, right? So that's what we're talking about today. Do you see beauty in the fall season? Maybe you're just going through a lot and you can't really see too much beauty right now. Let's talk about it. That's what Take Two is all about. So you can go to the prayer wall, take2show.com. You can email us, take2@EWTN.com. You can go on social media. I'm waving to everybody on YouTube. Post your comments there. Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. And actually, I'm getting just a lot of messages coming in, direct messages. You guys are amazing. You really do appreciate the fall. So that's awesome. That shows that you have a lot of gratitude in your heart for God's creation. 833-288 EWTN. First time callers, I'm welcoming you on this Monday. So I'd love to hear from you. Please consider calling in. It takes, we can take anywhere from like 5 to 15 minutes. So I'd love to hear from you and put you on air. Or if you're outside of the U.S., you can call country code 1-205-271-2985. And if you're an international caller, we're hearing from Sweden and England and Italy and Spain, Mexico. I mean, it's amazing. Everybody's listening to Take Two. I love that. And don't forget, you can always text us. You text the letters EWTN to 58177. Wait for our response, and you text us your first name, and you can tell us if you like the fall season. Message and data rates may apply, so don't forget. Okay, love you guys, because guess what? You got full phone lines here on Take Two. No surprise. You love this topic. Do you see beauty in the fall season?
This is Father Dwight Longenecker. Why do you need to go to confession? Well, it's easy to receive forgiveness for the things we've done wrong, but more importantly than that, one of the beauties of confession is that when we go to confession, we take responsibility for ourselves. Our world is besieged by those who feel entitled and want to blame others and expect others to do everything for them. When we go to confession, by God's help, we're saying, it's my job, it's my responsibility, I'm going to get on and do what I can to change myself and change the world with God's help.
Life coaching has been around for many years, helping people with their relationships, careers, health, and finances. However, with Stand Tall, it's all Christ-centered, and with that important focus of mind, body, and spirit. We take life coaching to a whole new level. Find us at standtalltoday.com and get a free consultation with one of our experienced life coaches. Today is the day the Lord has made, so begin today with a new path for your life at standtalltoday.com.
Hi, this is Father Mike Schmitz. Please join me for Ascension's Bible in a Year and Catechism in a Year here on EWTN Radio. We're going through the entire Bible and the Catechism in 365 days. If you've ever wanted to understand what it means to be Catholic and allow those truths to shape your life, this is for you.
Bible in a Year and Catechism in a Year with Father Mike Schmitz, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on EWTN Radio.
Okay, I'm asking the question today, do you see beauty in the fall season? And we had a couple folks drop off, so there's room for you if you'd like to jump in and share your thoughts on this. Do you see beauty in God's creation? The world is a beautiful place, and it all depends on how you look at it. And so we really want to discuss it today to give others hope and encouragement and gratitude and love for God's creation. 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. is the number to call. You do have an open phone line there, so please jump on it quickly. I'd love to hear from you. Today's saints is the feast of Saints Simon and Jude. So I wanted to remind everybody that. Make sure you look into the lives of the saints. Very important, because that's how we can... there are role models and there are big cheerleaders, so that's wonderful. So when you look into their lives, you can usually find something that you can relate to in their life and their struggles, and maybe they can become your friend. Okay, so that's important. Before we get to the phones, let me just share this this online learning series, Eucharistic online learning series. Eucharistic devotion. Jesus is seeking you, and he wants to relate to you personally. He wants a level of intimacy with you that is only possible through the most holy Eucharist. EWTN invites you to join Father Wade Menezes for the Eucharistic devotion, EWTN online learning series. This free video series guides you through reflections on the Eucharist inspired by the writings of Mother Angelica and the great saints. Enroll in our courses today at learningseries.ewtn.com. So this is very important. Always a chance here at EWTN to learn and grow. And when it's free, it's even better, right? So that's awesome. Okay, let's see who we're going to go to first. How about Ellen from Mansfield, Ohio, on our friends at Annunciation Radio. Hi, Ellen. Thanks so much for waiting, and welcome.
Hi. I'm not a first-time caller, but I just what you ask of what is the beauty in fall. It resonated with me. I have visual problems, but nature always comes through. I'm an avid gardener, and in fall season, when I go out into the canopy of trees, that light that comes through those leaves, it's like to me being in a great cathedral with stained glass windows, and it's just awesome, and it touches my heart and gives me a sense of a God. And that's my comment. Okay,
that is fascinating. So you're relating nature to the idea of going into a church and viewing the stained glass windows, which is to speak a reminder and a story to us. That's the reason for stained glass with the spiritual images in our churches and cathedrals. That is so interesting. So you are very deep, Ellen. Is that because now you made the comment that you're a little bit visually compromised? I can relate to that because I've been struggling for a couple months now, so I can relate to that. Have you developed these other senses because of the visual things not quite being there?
Yes, I have, and one of the disappointing things in my life is that even in the fall color, if you're driving and you see the light reflecting on the trees, they have to be the brightest red or orange or yellow for me to able to see anything, because the colors have become muted. But I still, if the color, the light shines through, I can see the color in its vibrancy. So it's just the effect of being surrounded by landscape and being underneath that canopy and the light shining through. And I think that in our lives, in a sense of going into a cathedral, you look at that stained glass, just as when you look at someone and that light of the Holy Spirit shines through them, you can really see God in them.
Wow, that was powerful. It reminds me of Blessed Carlo Acutis. They said that when he died, the teachers that he had and his fellow students used to see, they felt like there was a light radiating from him, because he was so connected to our Lord and Our Lady. And he every single day he went to Mass and he prayed the Rosary and he went to Holy Hour, and he did every waking moment pretty much. He focused on the Lord and the Eucharist, and he talked about the Eucharist being his highway to heaven. And isn't that interesting that when he died, one of the things they all remember is that he had this light radiating from him? Any comments on that? I'm just curious if you had heard that.
No, I hadn't heard that, but I do have a friend that passed away. She had cancer for some years, and she was the one that stood up and insisted that our church would have Eucharistic adoration where it hadn't been. And she even brought us together as families and had a Eucharistic devotion hour at church in the evening. And she was just a beautiful soul, and she loved Jesus, and she was forever saying, you know, Jesus loves you. Just remember, Jesus loves you. And I just, you know, so that it was a familiar story that she had this shining through her, and she brought a lot of people to faith.
Wow. Amazing. Well, you are amazing, Ellen. Thank you for calling in from outside Mansfield, Ohio, on our dear friends at Annunciation Radio. You've got your pledge drive coming up in November, and I get to co-host that, so I'm excited. So maybe we'll get to talk again, okay?
Wonderful, Debbie. We always love to have you.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Take care, Ellen. God bless you. Okay, we're going to get to Marianne, and Marianne's from Bluntsville, Alabama, on the EWTN app. Hi, Marianne.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Good. I was just up to New Jersey, your old stomping ground too, and I was there for 2 weeks, and the leaves were absolutely gorgeous, just enchanting. They were beautiful. We went up to Morris County, through, we went up to Sterling. Oh, it was just beautiful. The leaves were gorgeous. Then I went down to Tom's River to visit my daughter and their children, my son-in-law, and they were beautiful there as well. So they're pretty in Alabama, but I think they were prettier somehow in Jersey, maybe because it's colder. I don't know. But, yeah, God's gift to us, right? The fall colors.
Yeah. Well, New Jersey's considered the Garden State, and there's a reason for that. It's a good best kept secret there. I love that. So I agree with you. And when you see those leaves, what do you think of? I'm just curious, Marianne, because some people actually, believe it or not, they can get a little depressed because it's
you
don't. Okay.
I kept thanking Jesus for the colors. I mean, there's all different colors. How many shades of orange and yellow and brown, and I kept thanking him. Thank you, Jesus. The leaves are beautiful. Yeah, when the sun hits them a certain way, it's just like gold. Oh, I love fall. The weather's cooler. Yeah, just beautiful.
I used to love when my dad we had about an acre and a half in New Jersey, and my dad and my mom and the whole family would rake the leaves into a pile, and then we would have so much fun jumping in them, and you can't do that these days. I don't know why they say it's dangerous, but back in the day it was a lot of fun. Did you ever do that?
Absolutely, all the time. Yes, absolutely. I remember jumping. You just brought back very happy childhood memories in Keensburg, New Jersey. It was wonderful. Yeah.
Well, I'm getting used to the changing colors of the cacti and things in the desert, the desert kind of plants. No, I'll tell you, I'll be really honest with you. Arizona's gorgeous. It's wonderful to live here, and it's amazing, and the people are fantastic. But we don't have anything. I mean, we don't even have trees. We have like sticks in the ground that look like that they sort of pretend like they're trees, But it's okay. I'm going to be grateful, Marianne. I'm going to be grateful. Any other final comments before I let you go on your Monday?
No, Arizona's got its own enchanting things. Like the saguaro, doesn't it bloom in the winter? There's one of them that blooms in the winter with the flowers. I think it's a saguaro, isn't it? But yes. Anyway, thank you for the leaves.
Yeah, and that's true. We do have some very unique desert plants that you're right, and they do bloom in the wintertime. And you're right. I'm gonna learn to love the colors. It's just we have only 3 colors. It's like gray, a little bit of green, and brown. That's about it. But it's all good. I'm not complaining. It's Monday. Okay, Marianne, thank you so much. Thank you for putting a smile on my face about New Jersey. I really, really appreciate it. And God bless you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Okay, Marianne's going to free that phone line there. And you can pick it up if you have something to say about this topic. 833-288-3986. That's the number to call. And let me just hold on 1 second here. I'm going to see who we're going to go to next. I think we're going to go to Debbie. We're going to go to Debbie, okay, because I think Matt just has a lot of calls he's got to get to. So let's go to Debbie. And let me see where Debbie is. Hold on. Don't move anybody. Debbie's from New York on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Debbie. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. Yes, I'm a first-time caller today.
Yay! First-time caller, Debbie. Okay, go right ahead.
And I'm actually from Vermont. I'm driving in New York State right now. My husband and I, we are on our way to Divine Mercy Shrine in Stockbridge, Massachusetts.
Nice. Why are you going there? Is it for a retreat?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, we are going today because it's my husband's birthday.
Today is your husband's birthday? Okay, can you give us his first name? I'm going to put him in the prayer book.
Okay. It's Mike.
It's Mike. Is he right there? Hi, Mike. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you're going to spend it in Stockbridge. Oh, my goodness. Have you been there before?
Yes, many times.
Okay.
We didn't, last year we didn't make it down, and usually we come down this way a couple of times a year. Mike had a heart attack.
Okay, you just clipped out just a bit.
Year,
wait. Rewind a little bit, Debbie. Mike had what?
He had a heart attack almost a year, almost a year ago.
Oh, no.
This past year has been a journey of many things, but he's doing well. And, so that was our plan this year, was to wait and come down on his birthday. And several years ago, we were there at Divine Mercy for one of their healing services with Father Joe Whalen, the St. Raphael Healing Oil Ministry. And so that it's a special place to be, a special place to go for us. And so you were asking about the fall weather, and as we're driving along, most of the leaves have come down. We're seeing a lot of browns. We're still seeing many the oranges on the trees, and so like I was telling the person I spoke with first, that
was Matt.
Being in Vermont, we have all 4 seasons, and I hope I don't lose you because I'm driving along. But in Vermont, all 4 seasons are special, and
wow. And you said you're from Vermont, so you have great syrup there. We used to get Vermont syrup all the time. It was fantastic. So you lived in a beautiful place in the country, and going to Stockbridge is, I think, the best birthday celebration, Mike. And we wish you all the very best for your birthday today and this upcoming year. And I hope you have just a very deep spiritual experience. Could you please remember the Take Two family when you go there? Would you do that for us?
Sure.
Yes, we will.
Okay. And you were kind of clipping in and out, so that's why I couldn't hear you. So I'm going to let you guys go, and safe driving. Drive with the angels, and maybe you can call us again and let us know how it was there in Stockbridge. Okay, we're going to get to Iris, and Iris is in Indiana, waiting so patiently. Welcome to the program. Hello, Iris. Are you there?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Okay. No.
It's just I'm taking care of the dogs.
Oh, okay. Okay, go right ahead.
Yeah. I actually do see beauty in the fall because I love when they have like different colors, and I actually seen like deers, like 5 deers, and it's really great,
Mm-hmm. Well, deer, I remember seeing deer all the time in our backyard in New Jersey. So beautiful. My brother was telling me he's seeing a lot of deer in Texas recently. And, it's unfortunate because, with the ticks and things like that, people with Lyme disease, it's unfortunate because you can't really, it's kind of hard. Sometimes people want to go on hiking trails and things like that, and you have to be worried about that. But to see God's creation in movement, and just the beauty of the animals and the birds and the sounds and the trees and the sun and then the moon, and it just, the whole rhythm of it is so extraordinary. Wouldn't you agree, Iris?
Yes, I do. And actually, I've seen like a lot of rabbits.
Oh,
the
rabbits!
Only thing
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I love the rabbits. Oops, you're going to hear that music. I'm so sorry, Iris. I'm going to let you go on that, but I'm waving to you because you were on YouTube. So, and everybody on YouTube, thanks you guys for watching and chatting on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. And you, call in.
This is Father John Trigilio. If you have questions about apologetics, then join me for EWTN Open Line Monday, this afternoon, 3 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
This is a Messy Family Minute with Mike and Alicia Hernan. Social media has enabled us to be more connected than ever with the people from our past, friends who we rarely see, and family who live far away. This can be a great blessing, but when used without guidance by our children, social media can actually deform a child's development.
An essential aspect of a child's development is their relationship to the world. This happens through interactions between a child and their peers and a child and adults. Because of social media, most teens are overwhelmingly more influenced by their peers than by the adults in their lives. This is a problem.
94% of parents underestimate the activity of their children on social media. Don't be that parent. Use filtering and monitoring apps to protect your child and stay engaged in their tech use. Or better yet, hold off on introducing your child to social media. You want to be the strongest influence in your child's life for as long as possible.
For our full podcast on this topic and for downloadable resources, visit us at messyfamilyminute.org.
Want to be notified when Take Two with Jerry and Debbie goes live on Facebook? Follow EWTN Radio's Facebook page and click the bell icon to be notified.
The EWTN Warriors Rosary is a fitting tribute to all the spiritual warriors who have stood by us over the years. Each rosary is a unique creation. Get your Warriors Rosary today at EWTNRC.com.
Celebrating the precious gift of life, this is EWTN Radio.
Hi, this is Janet Williams. We embrace the essence of feminine spirituality on Women of Grace tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern here on EWTN Radio. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
I'd love to hear from you if you have something to say about this, about the fall, and I just think it's so beautiful when we can appreciate all that God has created for us. He is just the master artist, and he loves us so very much, and he wants us to feel that beauty, appreciate that beauty. And I'm just so glad that Iris mentioned rabbits. I love rabbits. I love seeing them. They are so sweet, so innocent. And if you have something to say about that, or the deer, or any other beautiful animal that just seems to just go around during the fall and just enjoy the beautiful, cool weather, call in, because we need to appreciate God's creation from all facets, from all angles, okay? 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. You still have time to call in if you have something to say about this. I really would love to hear from you, because what you have to say is very important. Okay, we're going to go to Virginia from California, also on YouTube. Oh, you guys are all on YouTube today. I'm waving to you. Go right ahead, Virginia.
Oh, wow. What a privilege. You know, I just got you by accident because I was going to call in for Jeanette, but it's the time difference, so sorry. But you're a delight. And I'm an ecologist in California, Southern California, and I have dreamed, because of, reaching out and hoping that I would be able to take an airplane flight over to upstate New York or New York, and then take a train they have that goes down into Vermont. It's a day train, and then come back up to New York and fly on home. Wouldn't that be incredible?
Yes, very much so. That would be wonderful. So
reality
okay,
dictates. I'm here in California, and I've got something fun to share with your callers because I am a teacher of about 40 years, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
This is fall planting season for the wildflower seeds. For those of us that cultivate, have like a xeriscape garden, and or you got an area at your garden in the western United States, and I'm pretty sure Colorado could handle, even though it's starting to get real bitter cold. But I know in California right now, because nobody thinks of this, we're like, oh yeah, spring, I'll throw some seeds out there.
Mm-hmm.
Put in the wildflower seeds now. You will have spectacular flowers within about 2 months, right in there with our rain. And something I do, because sometimes I can't go on the hikes I used to be able to go on,
Mm-hmm.
My legs are just, at 68 years old, they're not what they were. But also I have to work harder at giving a presentation and a lecture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on campus, blah, 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 blah. So I don't have the time in the mountains I used to have. But you know what's cool?
Tell me.
I can drive to places I love, go on little walks, see the waterfalls and so forth. And it's the embracing of nature right now that wakes you up and gets you ready, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yay.
You are, I bet your students love you. You have such a joy that comes as you're speaking. Are you like this in the classroom?
I'm ecstatic, and my sister has told me a couple of times, you got to calm down for the rest of us. My mom said, let her go. I like this.
But what do your students say? What age do you teach?
You're going to laugh till you cry because of the finances right now. I'm substitute teaching with elementary schools because they love me, and I make up little stories or I tell them legends and stuff like that. And that fills the bills. And then I teach college level. And listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
After years of prayer, I'm being asked to teach a lecture hall of 128 students, anatomy, physiology. How about that?
Goodness. So you have a joy and you're smart, too. That's awesome.
I don't know. You know what it is?
Tell me.
I was a B+, A- student. I was not the straight A because I'd watch a movie instead of study.
You're creative. That's what you are. I love it. I love it. Wow, that is so cool. You're amazing. You really are the perfect caller for a Monday show. I love that because you're just kind of getting us all kind of excited, and I love that. That's a good thing because we need to. Don't you think, Virginia? We need to get out of bed and step out of our house with a little bit of a skip in our step. What do you say to that?
Thank you, and unplug. Oh, it was the best thing I've done in so long. Try unplugging for 2 to 3 days as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pay your bills, get the responsibility out of the way, and then unplug and enjoy life around you again. And by the way, I have a very tiny apartment. You would think, oh, she's a zillionaire with all those jobs. I have a tiny apartment with a public storage.
Wow.
And I keep a rainforest back porch.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
That has visitors from a public park, and there's an old mansion, Victorian old part of town. The park is right next to the Victorian mansion from the old part of town, and a possum comes and visits me to get kibble. Now,
no way.
Is that good?
Oh, my goodness. Do you have pictures of it?
I do. I can put it on your site. I got that from Matt. I got the exact address.
Yeah.
I called her Blondie because she's immature and she's still got a lot of white on her back. And she looks up at me once in a while because I calm down. But do you know what she did? And this is Christian and prayerful. A dear friend who is was a nun, was in a severe situation in a hospital. And I was praying with the nuns because I found out about it at Massachusetts General Memorial, no less, by the way, up there in Boston, right by Harvard. God bless America and God bless the world that my dear, dear friend, Sister Marie Luz Picardo, was there after a severe accident, praying and praying with the nuns. And, you know, God loves it when you pray for clergy or nuns, because they do have a separate life. Do you know what my animals did?
Tell me.
On like the second or third day of prayer?
Tell me.
Because we didn't know if it was going to go yay or nay, or, oh, my God, we're losing her. We didn't lose her for 3 or 4 weeks, I think it was. Anyway, though, the point being is the possum came up in the daytime, which she never had. The cats were on, like, the top of my fence, you know, little wooden fence. And the possum came by and nosed several of the cats. And then they didn't hiss at her or anything. And then she turned around and walked away.
You know,
she had never done that in the daytime.
Yeah. It's interesting, Virginia. I'm going to let you go on that because we've got the other calls I got to get to before the show ends. But I'm going to tell you something that's interesting. We should do a show on it. In fact, Charles, make a note of this: how the animals do respond to God. It's very interesting. Okay, Charles just said he's going to mark it for our December calendar. Virginia, you awesome. You're awesome. I'm thinking of the possum. Okay, you are awesome, Virginia. Thank you so much for calling in. You just prompted a future show topic. Okay, so way to go on that. Claire has been waiting so patiently in Norwood, Massachusetts on the Station of the Cross. Okay, Claire, take it away. Hello, Claire.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
Hi.
Go right ahead.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
I'm going to go. Okay. So I wanted to make a comment on the beautiful fall foliage we have up here in New England and in Massachusetts. Right now it is fading, but I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It is probably one of my favorite seasons. I don't know if it's because I was born in September. But I thought it was kind of silly when I heard you say, you find fall beautiful? And I thought, because I feel like I've never taken it for granted. I just, absolutely love it. I'm a total leaf peeper. Mm-hmm. And so I said, then I thought, oh, well, maybe I do take it for granted because we always have it up here. Mm. Anyways, I always make sure I take a trip usually the week before Columbus Day up north a little bit, and sometimes I go to New Hampshire, my husband and I, or we go up to, the last 2 years we went up to Lake Placid, and then we came down into the Berkshires of Massachusetts. It was probably not as great as last year, the colors, but they were still fantastic, and I did visit the Divine Mercy Shrine actually too when I came down into the Berkshires, and so I sorry, I'm in my car.
No, that's okay.
So that was a beautiful time, to go up there. I just love walking around, especially if I take a walk after work, and now that it's getting dark a little bit sooner. It's just when the sun is about to set, and just the colors are amazing, and I'm just so in awe. And I think, wow, what heaven must be like. I mean, I've heard people who have near-death experiences, and they've talked about the color in heaven is so undescribably vibrant, and I think, what could that possibly be like? When I'm just so loving this up here. Right. And I did, when you commented about Arizona, my husband and I actually went there for our honeymoon. We traveled kind of around the state, and when we were driving up from Sedona up to the Grand Canyon, we went through the whole it's near Flagstaff or something. I think it was after Flagstaff. All the aspens. I think it was up there, and they were all turning because it was October, and they were yellow, and just the sound of the wind blowing in the wind was beautiful. But I just love it. My husband thinks I'm crazy because it's he's I don't think he appreciates it as much as I do, as much as he loves nature. Yeah. But I do kind of dread. I don't really I like when it gets a little little bit cooler, and maybe
Sure.
the air is more dry, not humid like we have had all summer here. But I do kind of dread thinking, what's next? I try not to think about what's next and what's coming in the winter, and and I'm kind of getting a little bit sad looking at all the leaves coming off the trees.
Right,
and,
right.
But I'm definitely enjoying it up here.
Yeah, well, you live in a beautiful area of the country for sure. Claire, let me ask you a question. You said you were born in September. What day? I'm just curious.
The 25th.
Okay. I had a funny feeling you were near Padre Pio. I knew it. Are you close? Are you close to Padre Pio?
No, it's so funny because I opened up my Word Among Us for next month, and I was just glancing through it, and there is something about Padre Pio in there, so I didn't have time to read it this morning before work, but I'm looking forward to reading it. But I know you always talk about Padre Pio, and every time you do, I look him up or something, about him.
Well, you're so close. You're so close to his feast day. Yeah. So that is so awesome. Yeah. Well, I hope you had a beautiful birthday, and I thank you so much for adding to this conversation today. It was really good. It was so perfect. So thank you, Claire, and thank you for hanging on as long as you did. Okay, we'll talk to you again. Oscar is up next from Winchester, Virginia. On YouTube as well. Everybody's on YouTube today. Hi, Oscar.
Hey, Debbie. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for calling. What do you think about the fall?
What do I think about the fall? Well, what I think about the fall is this. We're going through that time of cold weather. And very, very cold weather to me, as well as the leaves falling down the trees.
So, well, fall is definitely it does when people think of fall, especially when kids draw pictures of the fall, they will draw, the very different color of this fall season, those colors, the orange and the kind of the burnt reds and the yellows and all that, which does, when it comes together, this beautiful picture emerges of a sense of how just time has these seasons where we have things that are blooming, things that are kind of dying off, things that are approaching another season with different weather attached. And, we can relate it to our own spiritual lives, and which is very interesting. So we're not always going to be on a high in our spiritual life. We're not always going to be totally resting. There's going to be periods of growth. Do you ever think of that, Oscar?
Yeah, I do. I do every day.
Yeah.
I've always had that mentality of, in my spiritual life, we're gonna hit some roadblocks. We're gonna have those times, those difficult times in our spiritual journey. But deep down, there will be a way out of those roadblocks. Who many of us will continue our spiritual life. That's the mentality I have on myself.
Well, that's why the church year, the liturgical year of the church is set up that way. You have seasons of really just kind of a rest period, or then you have your celebration times, then you have your being in preparation times with Advent and Lent, and it just flows like that in order to let the person develop at their own pace. And that's why it's important that we do enter into these seasons, even the seasons in nature, and just realize that it's all part of this rhythm. And I think it's quite beautiful. Oscar, you're amazing. I have to ask you this question because you just called back. Are you the same Oscar that put on a YouTube Prayers for Vocations?
Yes, this is
you are
the exact one.
Okay, so you're discerning possible priesthood?
Yeah, that's been my thing that I've also been really been thinking about, is me entering seminary.
Okay.
And for me entering into priesthood.
Okay. Well, we put you in the prayer book, and we're going to be praying if it's God's will that, and you are open to it, that it works out for you. Will you keep us posted?
Most certainly.
Okay. Thank you so much. And thank you for calling today. I really appreciate it. Wow, that is so powerful. I'm so glad we got to speak to Oscar, because I was wondering last week if there was the same person, and it is. And so that's why prayers are very, very important. And we have the prayer book going also round the clock on the virtual prayer wall. In take2show.com. Okay, let me just share something real quickly before I get to Patricia. Hold on, Patricia. Don't go anywhere, please. I want to talk about the Rosary. I love the Rosary. EWTN Radio brings you the Holy Rosary twice each day for over 30 years. Tune in every morning at 5:30 a.m. Eastern for Mother Angelica, and every evening at 9:30 p.m. Eastern for Father Benedict Rochelle. It's only on EWTN Radio. I love praying the Rosary with everyone else. Patricia's up next in Northern Michigan on Sirius XM 130. Hey, Patricia, welcome. Happy Monday.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Is this Debbie?
It is.
Oh, hi, Debbie. And Jerry's there too today?
Jerry's in seminary. He's in classes today. He'll be back in December.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a first-time caller, and I feel like my husband and I are both part of the Take Two family. We listen to your show regularly also.
Thank you.
I just wanted to share with you and the audience that we're from the Detroit, Michigan area, and we traveled up north to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the colors in Michigan are gorgeous, obviously, in this area, and then through Wisconsin, it was beautiful. And I wanted to share with you that we went to the Our Lady of Champion, the shrine, and that's the only apparition shrine in the United States.
That is correct.
The reason why we traveled there is because I was diagnosed with a year and a half ago stage 4 cancer that has metastasized. And we wanted to go up there and pray in front of the lady where she appeared in 1859. And I tell you, the experience was beautiful. And I had no idea. I'm 64 years old. I had no idea that it was this close to us from Michigan to visit. I would have been here a lot sooner. But it ties in with the maple leaf and the fall leaves coming up there. It's because I found out Our Lady appeared to Adele Bryce in 1859. I believe it was 3 times, and Our Lady appeared underneath between a maple tree and a hemlock tree. And I every time I see maple leaves now, we don't have any hemlock trees in our area, but when I see the maple leaves all over, I always think of Our Lady in a more special way.
Yeah.
So I just want to share that with you, and please ask for the Take Two family to please pray for my healing, that I have physical healing. I'm having another CAT scan tomorrow, and I'm just hoping and praying that we have good news on this.
Absolutely. Okay, so a couple things, Patricia. Did you you didn't get? I put you in the book. I can hear your husband in the background. Do you want to give me his first name too, and I'll put you both in the book to make sure you're covered in prayer?
Yes, thank you so much. His name is J-A-Y, and he is also diagnosed with beginning stages of prostate cancer.
Oh no. Okay.
Well, that would be wonderful. But we're doing well, Debbie. Thank you so much. And I know a lot of prayers from our prayer family are keeping us going and uplifting us. But it's always good to have more.
Absolutely. Okay, so you're going for this scan tomorrow. Keep us posted, please. You can always drop us an email, take2@ewtn.com. I'm so glad you went to Our Lady of Champion. I have been there too. I went there with, let me see, it has to have been 4 years ago, I think. Amazing. I've been there. I love it. I agree with you. It is, once you go down into the grotto where she appeared, where Our Lady appeared, you can tell that she definitely has appeared there. It's so obvious when you go down the steps. And I'm going to absolutely, I have pictures of it because I was allowed to take pictures. And I'm going to pull those pictures out, Patricia. And when I pray the rosary today, I will definitely remember you. I promise you. And I know you went to Our Lady. I mean, doesn't get better than that. Go to Our Lady. She's our spiritual mother. So you did the right thing, and I'm so glad you highlighted it today. And you're right, at the only approved apparition site in the U.S. So Patricia, you got a lot of prayers. As we were speaking, several have jumped on and sent me a message saying they're praying for you and Jay. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you for all you do.
Thank you. God bless you as well. And thanks for being a loyal listener of Take Two. We really appreciate it. I'm going to try to squeeze in Terry from Lafayette, Louisiana on Christ Our King Radio. Terry, I'm sorry, I only have a couple minutes, but I want to hear from you about the fall season.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Well, when you started talking about the seasons and the fall, it really sparked my interest because I hear God speak to me through nature so much. And I started thinking about how when my little girl was starting her junior year of high school, and I started thinking about how the summer was coming to an end and how we had a good summer, but I started thinking about how seasons help us to transition into new. And, I started thinking about how the days were getting shorter. We were out with the summer and in with the fall soon. And, started thinking about the fall and all the leaves changing colors and falling. And then the summer, the winter, how it was cold and dying. And over here, the grass doesn't even grow. And then in the spring, you have the new regrowth and fresh, and then back to summer. And how the summer is so unpredictable, and how sometimes we have droughts and sometimes we have rain and storms. So the season's just always changing and evolving. And then I started thinking about how, why does God give us seasons? And then I started thinking about how maybe it's because he tries to open our eyes to our spiritual seasons, and how he's constantly arranging things in our lives that we don't even know about sometimes, but always with our greater good in mind, And and we automatically trust that once the leaves on the trees fall and die and the grass looks dead, but we know that spring will be there with new growth. And so are we that trusting with our own souls? And when we sin, can we die to self and trust that God will renew us, and or do we hold on to those dead leaves, hoping that they will come back to life instead of trusting that he will give us something new and even better, and and just to trust that he will, and so I thought, well, don't pull out that tree before you see what God can do. Don't give up.
Well, that was beautifully stated. I love what you're sharing, because that's what I was trying to allude to when I was talking about the rhythm of our spiritual lives. And it is so true. When I believe our good Lord is so creative that, he doesn't want everything to be just the same, always the same, and very stagnant. It's moving, it's growing, we're learning. It's a constant pilgrimage back to God. And I love what you just said about looking at that, and then right around the corner, when you see the leaves dying, but right around the corner, there's that new hope, new springtime. I love that. Wow, it's so powerful. Thank you so much, Terry. You hear the music. I'm glad I got to squeeze you in. Lenora, I'm so sorry I couldn't get to you. You can please call back at another show or on Unscripted, and I'll happily put you to the front of the line. Thank you so much to the show team. You guys did a great job, Charles and Matt and Michael. I know it was a lot of moving parts today, but a lot of participation is always a good thing for a Monday on Take Two. We've got another show planned for you tomorrow. Guess what it is? Do you appreciate your in-laws? Ooh, this is going to be an interesting topic tomorrow, but that's tomorrow. This is today. Have a beautiful and blessed day. We'll see you real soon.
Now, today's thought from Mother Angelica's Perpetual Calendar. If I expect God to have faith in me,